Hi guys, it's Shami from Craft Seams and Things. Sorry, I'm on this side of the table, but today I'm going to show you how to create beautiful letter journals. So I have a swap. These are two that I completed, well, three that I completed already. We're exchanging three, but I made these and I want to show you how simple they are to make. So what letter pockets are, I call them letter journals, but their letter pockets are, is you stick a note in a letter into one of the little pockets, and then the rest of the pockets have a card or a tag in front, and then they have, you can stick stuff in the back, like little trinkets like buttons and all sorts of fun stuff, and then you just kind of decorate the edges a little bit, and then you just fold it up, and you can put it in an envelope. And they're adorable. They turn out really good, and then the recipient can put them into a binder. Right? They can just put them in a binder, and you can make a whole you can have a whole collection of letter pockets. So I am making these for a swap. They're super fun. I just think that it's such a great idea for a gift for someone because it has a mix of your artwork, and then you have little treats and trinkets. And it's not very much to send. They're like $2 or $3 a piece to send, depending on how much you stuff in them. And you can just embellish them how you want. Now for this, I decided to do a simple design just because I wanted to do something simple. And I love this technique where I decoupage, this is a big sheet that I made, where I decoupage napkins on top of book pages, and there's a video on how to do that. So that's what I decided to do. But I didn't just want random scraps of the napkin on there. I wanted actually for it to kind of look like a scene. See how those are broken apart, but you can see the different portions of the butterflies and that kind of thing. So that's that part I had to figure out. And that's a rose, so you have the main rose, and then you have the music notes that are pieced together. So just a lot of fun. These are really cool. And then I have this one. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now I won't show you how to make this sheet because there's a video on that, but I will show you a trick. Because you can't just use regular size paper because we're trying to cut it out so that it's assembled kind of in a puzzle together. Let me turn this way. So you have to use a larger piece of paper. And the thing about using a larger piece of paper is you have lots of scraps left over. Like I have a whole, these are all my scraps of extra cards that I have that I can make into ATCs or tags. So it does have a lot of scraps, but you can use them, which is awesome. So what I'm using is just lightweight mixed paper. I used just the thinnest one that they had. I think I used the sketching paper because I didn't want them to be super thick. And since I decoupaged both, so all I did was I just decoupaged just with my mixture of water and glue, just book pages that I tore up. I did that on both sides, and then I covered it with the napkin, and I decoupaged on top of the napkin with glitter Mod Podge. So that's what I did. Now the important thing for your napkin is that napkins are made like this, right? So the design faces this way and this way. So what I had to do is I had to cut it down. So I cut that there, and that was on the bottom part of the paper, as you can see. And then I turned it around. I didn't want the Eiffel Tower pictured again because this is going to be my center point. So I just used the top part of that napkin. So I just cut that off and used the top part of that napkin. Okay, so then you have this small piece here, and for that I just used like the scraps, like this little bit. I just cut that down a few times just to add to the side. And these you really won't use, but this is kind of your main focal point. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cut it down. And we're going to make envelopes too. This is going to be so much fun. It is going to be a longer video, so prepare yourselves. But so letter pockets, let's measure them. So this is what you'll need to get some of these. Baseball card holders, you can get them at the dollar store. And this really isn't that expensive. It just takes a little bit of time. And I got 10 in a pack. And then you can kind of measure how big your card should be. So lengthwise, let's pull that out. And I already know the measurements, but I want to show you. So lengthwise, we are at 3.5 we're at, let me do 3.5 by 2.5. Okay, so those are that's how big we need to cut down this paper. Okay, so you could, so first you need to think about the origin of your paper. So we need to get rid of this scrap here, okay, and kind of make it 12 inches across is what I like, because my cutter can handle that. Okay, so what I can do is I can just take this out, okay, and I can just kind of bring it over, just like that, and I'm just going to go to 12, okay, so I have it on 12 inches this way, okay, lengthwise, or widthwise, okay, alrighty, and that'll just make it a little bit easier. You just have to hold it super duper tight, the paper, okay. These are so much fun to make. I hope you try them. Okay, so that gets our paper so that we can stick it this way, because this is the way that we're going to make them. Okay, so that we can have a seam, and you'll know what I'm saying in a second. It's a little confusing at first, but I figured it out finally after much work. So then we're going to go this way. So think of this like this. So this is going to be 3.5 inches. So we're going to start at the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to line up the bottom of the paper 3.5 inches. Okay. And I'm just going to apply pressure, make sure I hold my paper steady, because it has to go through a lot of layers. And I wish that I would have made these thinner. I should have probably just painted the back instead of decoupaging it, but I really wanted them to be kind of sturdy. So, okay. So you do that, and then we're going to do another 3.5 inches. And this will make more than 9 cards, as I said. But you just need 9 ATCs. And I just like it because it actually depicts a scene, which I love. So I just think it looks really cool. Okay, good. And then we'll do this one. 3.5. We'll just cut off that scrap. Sorry, and I'm moving around here. Let's lift that up. Okay. Just have to hold that paper nice and tight. Okay, that should be good. As I said, it's quite thick, so it does take some time. Okay, so now I like to keep them in suites because they're going to fit together like a puzzle. See how the butterfly fits together and then this flower fits together? Okay, so you want to keep them together, okay? But I really want the Eiffel Tower, so I'm going to try to get that, okay? So then I'm going to do 2 inches. Okay. Just going to take that and I'm going to cut it down. Oops. Again, hold it. I'm not good at holding. Wow, this paper is a monstrosity. This one's really hard. The other ones weren't so hard. Might be easier to cut it, but I'm going to have to get a new blade, I think. There we go. Okay, so you're just going to kind of just lay them out. Just like that. But I just kind of want to show you how to cut them down first, because of the way I did it, it's a little bit tricky. Okay, so I can kind of just keep them together just like that. And as I said, I'm going to get quite a bit of cards out of this. Okay, so I can take that and, oops, make sure you hang on to the paper. Okay, there we go. And you won't be fumbling like me, so this will go easier, I promise. There we go. 2.5, and see, my Eiffel Tower is going to be right in there. I'm just going to, yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so see, I have all that together. Ready? And then we'll do 2.5. Again, hold that. And then I just put them right on top because I know that, actually this should be the top layer. So let's do the second layer first. I just kind of like them to be, so I know, like, which one goes with what. This thing is being really stubborn right now. Okay, take my scissors, because it's just being stubborn. So that one I know goes on top, because that'll complete a flower. And don't worry, you'll see what I mean when we put it all together. There's 2.5, and I'm dropping everything on the floor. Okay, so we're just going to take it. There we go. That one was easier. Okay, we'll do 2.5 also. Just hold it. There we go. That goes there. And we'll put this one here. 2.5. Hold. Okay. Oops, and I cut that one a little short. Yes, I did, but that's okay because this one fits perfectly. Okay, so that's the one I'll use for that. Alrighty. I'm actually going to bring this way. I think it'll help me a little bit. We'll do 2.5. This is our top portion. I think I was a little too far away. That's the problem. And I think I need another blade. Okay, I'll take that. But it's really not hard if you have a a blade that works. Okay, so those go together, this goes together. As I said, in 1 second you'll see how it all comes together. But I saw some people making them, and they did all the individual cards and all that stuff, and that's great. But I thought, well, I didn't want to do that, you know, for 3 people. So I thought, well, how can I make this a little bit easier for myself and kind of affordable? And I don't really have a lot of investment, so I thought, well,
myself together a little bit here. Okay, so let's start at the bottom.
this way, I believe. There we go. Or whichever way you want it to face. Does this one have openings? Like this. Okay, I'm just not facing it the right way is the problem. Okay, so I'm going to put that flower in the bottom. Okay, and I accidentally messed this one up, so put that one there. Okay, so see how that's a complete flower? Let me bring it in a little bit here. Okay, and then we have another one. Oops, let me get you in frame. And then this one would go here, but I want my Eiffel Tower. Okay, so see what I mean about keeping them straight? And I totally did not do that. This one would go here, just like that. Okay, but it's like a puzzle. Okay, and then really want the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I like the Eiffel Tower better. So we're going to cheat and put this one here. Okay. Okay. And we'll do our butterfly. So we'll actually There was this one. That one goes there. Okay, and then we should have a partial flower. Trying to think here. Alrighty. So it's kind of like a puzzle piece. So we just kind of want, because I just want there to be able to be a large point. Okay, just like that. And then the Eiffel Tower would go there. So what I think I'm going to do, because that is my centerpiece, is I'm going to kind of switch these around. Just like this. Okay, and then I get my Eiffel Tower. Okay, and then I get my flowers there. Isn't that pretty? So see, that completes the flowers. And then I have the top of, then I can add something here. Okay, more flowers there. Let's kind of see. So we'll do, I don't want that there because that doesn't fit. Maybe we'll put this here with the butterfly. I think that goes together. And then you can just create like a mini scene here, if that makes sense. So those two will go together like that. And then that can go like that. I like that. Perfect, but you create a whole little scene. See? And then all you're going to do is ink the edges around your cards. And as I said, this is the page and napkin decoupage video that I made, and I'll put a link below so you can actually see the technique of how I did that. The only thing that's different is just that I collaged just regular book pages on top of just a plain white sheet, and then I just covered it with napkins with the decoupage. So that's the only step that you have to remember. So you'll just ink your edges like I did with my other ones, which, did I just do with those? I think they might have fell on the floor. Sorry, I'm a little disorganized today. There they are. Okay. Alright, so you're just going to ink up your edges because these are inked. But you see, and this one I decided not to use the Eiffel Tower, but it's the exact same thing. See how pretty those are? So now for the fun part, we can do all our little treats, okay? And all I did here was I just weave some beautiful tulle and ribbon through, and I love the way it turned out. That looks really awesome, okay? So that's all I did for that part. But you could tie it this way, you can just kind of tie it however you want, but just to add a little something to the sides. Now for the pockets. Now I wanted to do pockets just because I thought that would be beautiful, and I love making pockets out of book pages. And I do have video on how you can do that, but I want to show you an easier way that I found out. So all you're going to do is take a book page. This is just a recycled book that I have, and you're just going to take it and line it up at the edge and at the corner, okay? And this is a super easy technique. You can basically make an envelope for anything. Just take that with this technique. I'm just going to take it, and I just kind of measured the width of it, or the length. Okay, perfect. And then you just put this in the center, okay? And you're just going to fold it over, just like that, okay? And I can trim off just a little bit of this part, okay? And see how that closes up? And you just want it so that you have a little bit of lip up at the top, okay? And it doesn't have to be very much, but just a little bit, okay? And you have your, kind of your form or your template, okay? And then, so you have it folded here, you have the lips, you have where it goes over. So now you need to cut out this little square here, just like that. Okay, and then there's one over here too. And that's just to make it lay better. Just like that. Okay, Perfect. Okay, so now in order to make an envelope, we just kind of fold it over. And then I have some DIY washi tape that I showed you how to make in another video. And basically you're just going to take your glue stick first, okay, which I have under here, and you're just going to seal it, okay? So just put some glue on the flap, and you're going to take it, okay, oops, just like that. And you just want to make sure that it overlaps, okay, a little bit. This is not the best glue stick. I got this one from the Chinese dollar store. Not the best glue. There we go. And then, so you have this bottom, but it's open, right? So we need to close that up. So I just take some of my DIY napkin or tissue paper tape that I show in the video, and I just made some matching to match the pattern of the napkin that I used to make the cards. And if you wanted to, you could absolutely make these into tags too. I just love them. They're just so pretty. Such a beautiful technique. Just going to take it. Okay, and I fold in the edges first, and then I just bring it up. Okay, and you have a beautiful little pocket that you can stick all your little stuff in. Okay, so I have some that I already made, just to kind of move this along a little bit. Okay, so I have these, and I inked some, and then, yeah, I inked all of these, okay? And they have the same pattern of the paper, as you can see. So now for embellishments, which is the fun part, I'm going to get my chair here. I'm a little bit out of breath from all that moving around. Okay, and I'm going to grab my embellishments and tell you the kind of things I like to put in. Now, I didn't want this to be expensive. I didn't want to go out and have to buy, you know, charms and all this stuff that I really don't have money for. So I decided to make a lot of my own embellishments and just to use stuff that I kind of have around the house. Okay, so, and I love making embellishments anyway. So I made these tickets, and I'm going to have a video on that. And they just say all sorts of stuff like be happy, create something, all these things. And I'll show you the technique of that. And they're made just from dollar store tickets. And I just painted the back a little bit just to give them a finished edge. And the reason why I didn't add flowers or anything to them is because I want the person that gets them to be able to embellish them further. Right? So I just wrote some words that I thought would be great. And I'm maybe going to put about 3 or 4 tickets in there. So that's going to be my first thing. And I'm just going to stick that in there. Okay? And then what will happen is I can actually seal this up. So I made some washi tape, some DIY washi tape just to go kind of with the design of my project here. And this is just masking tape that I painted. Okay. I don't need very much, but you could just glue them shut, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be a little rebel. Okay. Take that. And this video is bouncing, so I hope that it doesn't bounce for you. That would suck. Okay, you're just going to take that, and it's sealed, and then you can just stick it behind. And you're going to need 8 embellishments, okay? At least for the way that I'm doing it. And then one of the pockets has a letter. So let's move on to our next one. So our next one is these little decoupaged buttons. I actually got this big, huge bag of buttons from the thrift store, but they're really, really ugly. So I wanted to cover them, so I just decoupaged them, and there'll be a video about that too. But that's super easy. Right? And then we're just going to stick maybe about 2 or 3 of those. We don't want it to be too heavy, and buttons can add bulk, so kind of keep it to 2 or 3. Okay. We'll take that, and I have another piece of my DIY washi tape, and we'll stick that on there. And then we can stick that behind another one of our little things. Now, if you wanted to, you could label these, so you could put different things. Okay. And then, let's see, I have, what else do I have? I have some washi tape that I got from the dollar store, and I use that exclusively for swaps. because I really like using my own, so I just put it on a playing card so it won't stick, and I'm just going to stick that in there. And I just wrapped it around that. That is going to be one of my embellishments, or one of my gifts to whoever receives this. We'll stick that down.
But a lot of things you can make yourself, and I think that that really has a lot of meaning, you know, because you could go out and buy stuff and that's fine, but just to know that the person gets your artwork is really beautiful, or they get an embellishment that you spend the time to make. And those pockets, those envelopes fit perfectly in there, don't they? It's pretty awesome. Okay, and then I got these from the dollar store. They're just little like butterflies and flowers. They're kind of acrylic, so those are cool. So I thought those would be awesome. So again, I'm just going to put a small amount because I do not want it to cost me $50 million to ship this. So just put 3 or 4 in there. You know, and that's enough to make a couple tags and make some beautiful things. I just kind of hate when people don't make stuff because they can't afford it, or, you know, it's like you have stuff around your house that you can use and that's beautiful, and it doesn't matter, you know, how much money you spend on it. It's the thought that really counts. So this envelope seems to be a little bit bigger than, there we go. So I think it's because of those embellishments. Ooh, so I might have to put it in one of these. Maybe we'll switch it out here. I'll put this one down here. Yeah, that one fits better. And then this one's a little bit thicker, so I'll put this up top. But you want to kind of be a little bit more delicate with your pockets because you don't want them to split. It might be better. Maybe I'll try to put the envelope in first. That's better. There we go. A little bit better. And then I can just slip the card right on top. That's better. Okay? Just like that. Alrighty. Okay. That should go in there. Okay, and then I made some paper clips, some embellished paper clips, and there's a video on that too. So I'll just put a couple of those in there that will fit. And I think it's a little too big, but I think I'm going to stick with maybe the paper ones that I made. Just put a couple of those in there. And that's a really fun and easy thing to use and to make, is embellished paper clips. And those are fun to use in your journaling. I just love using those, okay? So you'll just take some of your washi tape, just glue it on there, okay? And let's put that one up here. And the rest of the embellishments that I'm putting in, they're going to be flatter, so that should help this situation. Okay, just like that. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So now I am going to do some stamps. Okay. So here I some stickers. Sorry, stamps, stickers. Okay, so I'll just take another one of my envelopes. I'm kind of making sure that I match it. So just put some stickers from your stash in there. And I forgot one more thing that I was going to use. So I'll have to go grab that. Just kind of take that. Okay. And then we'll grab some more of our washi tape. And I kind of like making them in big quantities. I just think that makes it a lot easier. So take that. Okay, well, I did not want to go in there. So I think, again, as we said, we'll have to put this in first. So put the envelopes in first. It'll make your life easier, and then you can just slip these on top. Okay. So I still have 2 more envelopes to fill. Okay. Alright.
So I had another idea too. These really cool things that I make. Let me grab them. I make these little circles out of my drop paper, so I thought that would be great to include, and I include them in Happy Mail. And they're super lightweight, and they're just a lot of fun to add to a project. So you can do those like that. So let me grab another envelope, just making sure that it matches the one that I'm working on. And yeah. And all I do is take my circle punch and I just punch them out. And I only have a circle punch. I don't have a lot of punches, so. But the circle works great. And the only reason why I even bought a circle punch is because I was making those magnets, or the magnets out of the marbles. So I kind of got sick of cutting out all those flowers. I was like, oh, all those circles. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this easier. Just take that. And you'll just have to press down on that tape. Okay, just take that and stick it in there. And then for the last pocket, I am going to put a packet of glitter. Okay. But as you can see, I mean, this is nothing that expensive. Like, I'm not adding really expensive embellishments. I'm just adding kind of stuff that I just have hanging around. Okay, and then let me grab the, what did I do with my glitter? I'm sorry guys, I am a little scatterbrained today. Usually more organized, but so this is my kind of my little ephemera box. And we switched off glitter for Crazy Island for swap. So I already have tons of glitter. So I just thought, well, I can share the love. So I'm going to give away some of these packets of glitter. So again, I'm going to get one of my envelopes. One that matches, of course. I guess this one. Okay. And I'm just going to stick that in there. So, and you could do confetti, kind of whatever you want. I mean, that's the fun part about these is you can just be as creative as you like. Just take that, put that in there. And I haven't decorated my envelope, but they just go in a standard envelope. So you don't even have to worry about that. Just put them in a standard envelope and I'll show you how you fold them. And if you wanted to, you can even like embellish them further, but as I said, I don't want to spend tons of money on shipping, so I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to, you could. I'm just going to stick my card right on top. But this is a great way for you. You made your own envelopes and everything. I mean, I love this project so much. Awesome. Okay, so everything's in there nice and tight. And then I have a letter that I wrote. So I'm going to just fold that up. Like so. Okay, I'm just going to stick it in there. Okay, and then we can take this and you fold it in threes, just like that. And if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of washi tape here. And that's kind of why I like making the envelopes, because then you don't have to worry about everything coming out. And the envelopes are so simple to make. So hopefully I explained this very well. I'm just going to do a walkthrough just because I like to reinforce what I said. And I know sometimes I'm a scatterbrained person, but so you're going to take a large piece of paper. The one that I used was 13 by 11 1/2. I got it from Target. It's called the Paper Mix, and it's like drawing paper. It has Bristol paper, all sorts of paper. So all I did was just take my book pages, I tore them up, put them on that big sheet of paper, and then I tuck my napkins. Okay, only because I wanted a seam. Now, if you don't want a seam, you can put your napkins down however you want, and you can just use a standard, like, copy paper size sheet, you know, just regular paper sheet. But I actually wanted mine to portray a scene, so that's why I put the napkins on the way that I did. And for my napkins, you cut off this bottom part, and then you cut off the middle part, and then you have scraps for the ends for that big piece of paper. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Alrighty, and then to make our little envelopes, all you're going to do is you just take the actual card, and you can make them whatever size you want. You just take a piece of paper, you fold it this way, and you fold it over. You just want to make sure that there's an overlap. Then you want to make sure that you have some at the top, but that the bottom is fully covered, or whatever, or it doesn't have to be, because it would actually be better to make these a little smaller than your cards. And you're just going to fold it so that you have a lip. You just glue it, the flaps together. Well, first you cut it, so you cut this part off and this part off, because that's not necessary, and it gives it a better appearance when you just have the flap down. Okay, so you glue it, and then you add a little bit of your DIY washi tape to the end, and that keeps stuff from coming out, and you have just a gorgeous envelope. Okay, then after you are done with that process, you ink up the edges of both the card and your little envelopes if you want. It's completely up to you. And then you add your embellishments to the envelopes, and you stick them in there. Okay, and then the last step that I would do, and I kind of went backwards, is you put just a little bit of decoration through the holes. So these are just laces, and I use tulle, which I love because I have a lot of scraps, because that's what I wrap my gift baskets in, and just cheap ribbon, and just wrap it up. And that's basically it. I will have a tutorial on how you make the decoupage buttons, how you make the tickets. If you're interested in the DIY washi tape, I will have a video about that. Actually, that's already uploaded, and I think, oh, and there's a video about the paper clips too. So if you want to watch that, I'll put that below too. But you can make a lot of your embellishments. That's the whole point of this. And what else was I going to say? So I think that that's it. And there's actually another video too of me making the envelopes. I kind of have, I like this technique better though. So I showed you how to do them. So they look beautiful. They're lovely. But I'll put a video below in case you're interested in that. And just have fun. And it's so much fun to make beautiful letter journals. And I decoupaged these with actually the same napkin. I mean, I use one napkin to make everything, to make the washi tape, and to actually make my design or my layout. So it doesn't take very much at all. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Yeah, and I guess that's it. And I'm sorry for talking so fast. Hopefully you understood what I was saying. So the cards are 3.5 lengthwise by 2.5 widthwise. Hopefully that's right. Yeah. Lengthwise 3.5, widthwise 2.5. So that's just what you need to remember to cut them down. And as I said, you could do it much, much easier than me. Yeah, on a smaller piece of paper if you don't care about piecing it together. But I really love that there's a design on them, that there's a picture. I mean, that's the part that I really love about using the napkins. And you don't have to be able to draw. I mean, all you need is a pair of beautiful napkins in the technique that I showed you. But how pretty. So I'm going to finish these up, and I will send them to the recipients for my swap. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I am going to have a whole bunch more of these type of videos on how-tos for this process, because it's just so much fun. It's great. So I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.